Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, folks. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Marketing You Practice podcast, the podcast where I get to simplify the marketing and the mindset so you, the chiropractor, can increase your income, your impact, and your enjoyment in practice too. This week, I sent an email out to many of you who are part of my email community asking for what kind of content were you looking for? Where did you need help in practice? What were the biggest frustrations, fears, worries that you had with regards to your marketing, particularly with regards to social media? And what would life look like if you got that managed and sorted? And so firstly, thank you to all of you who reached out to help me with regards to that. And a bunch of you did. I wasn't sure whether, because I was asking you to do something, I wasn't sure how many people would respond. So if you were one of the responders with that, then thank you. And in the future, it's a reminder, because I get emails like this too from people who I follow. And sometimes I'm a bit busy, but knowing now just how helpful and how important they are as a content producer, I'll make much more of an effort to make sure I normally answer them anyway, because I kind of understand it. But the answers that came back were really helpful, and they'll be guiding very much the content that I share with you over the next 12 months. They will be helping me further put together courses for you that will help you reach more people, increase your impact, your income, and your enjoyment in practice too. Today's podcast episode is going to go right back to basics. I'm going to share with you a 90-day step-by-step social media action plan. So this is going to be really full of very actionable. I'm not going to leave anything out. So it is really clear that from many of you that responded to the survey that you're feeling overwhelmed in terms of having time, and then confused in terms of what do I post. So we're going to deal with all of that in today's post. When I'm inside of the Social Media for CAs, the course where I teach your CA how to become a social media rockstar, I talk about there being 3 different levels of posting. Level 1 is posting 3 times a week. Level 2 is posting 5 times a week, and then level 3 is posting 7 times a week, so every day. Now, I suggest inside of that also that you don't move from level 1 to level 2 until you've had success with that for at least 90 days. One of the key components for you putting together a really great social media marketing program is consistency of posting. Consistency of posting will help you show up more often in terms of the algorithms. When Instagram or Facebook or TikTok sees you there more often, more consistently, it lets them know that you're real. It also helps to build trust. It's very interesting. I find myself, when I find somebody new on Instagram, just recently I came across an advertisement for somebody who was helping with some content creation. I was really quite interested in what he had to offer. And then my next step was I kind of clicked on his profile, and then I went back to have a little bit of a look to find out more about him. Now, here's what I found. I found that he hadn't posted since about the middle of 2021. And yet here he was going to sell a program, or at least the first stage is the freebie of the program, talking about social media mastery. And I went, hang on, this guy himself hasn't posted in over 6 months. So immediately lost all trust, and I didn't take the next step. To some extent, at this very first level, when people are finding you online, what they're going to be doing is they're going to have a little bit of a look around, like I did. They just want to see, is this a real business? Are you showing up consistently? And again, the standards don't have to be all that high, but we want some consistency. Now, in this game of how often should I post, then really along right beside consistency is quality. Okay, quality really makes an enormous difference. In fact, 1 post a week will well and truly outdo 3 really crappy ones. So if you can't do 3 times a week, but you can start with 1, I'm going to lay out a plan for you that will show you, hopefully, how you can post 3 times a week, and it seems almost effortless. Okay, so level 1 we're going to start with is 3 times a week. Now, you might be tempted to want to go more than that, but I'm going to encourage you to take a step back and produce 3 really good quality posts. Get used to that for the next 90 days, and if you get to the end of the next 90 days and you're feeling really great about it, only then go up into that level 2, which would be 5 times a week. Now, what days and what times are you going to post? Well, I think to spread it out, whether it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, let's start with one of those. It helps to post perhaps on the days that you're in at the practice, or wherever it will be easy for you to actually be posting this. What days will work for you? Now, with regards to times, I don't think times matter as much as what people say they do. In fact, the busier that social media gets, the less I think they really matter. If we're creating really high quality content, then what will happen is our content will be served in front of the people that are used to engaging with it. Now, as you get a little bit more advanced, then of course you can go in. Both Facebook and Instagram have really great insights that will tell you when your audience is on there, and it will give you suggestions of best time to post. Now, I don't want you to do that at this stage because I want to keep this really simple. This is a basic, beginner social media next 90-day plan. We want to get this nailed down. Once you've got really consistent at that, then we can fine tune it and we can look at what times should be posting and are there days. But to begin with, just go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and perhaps vary the times. Maybe Monday morning, Wednesday lunchtime, Friday evening. That way we've got a good spread throughout of it, okay? Now, there are 3 different types of posts that we're going to post across the week. Now, Monday is going to be a quote post. Social media loves quote posts. Now, quote posts are not going to be earth-shattering or life-changing. Quote posts are not going to have your Instagram or Facebook account blow up. Quote posts are not going to have you go viral. Quote posts are not going to have you attract hundreds or thousands of new patients, but they are the foundations, the brick and mortar. A quote post will do great. We all love a good quote post. And in amongst the other 2 posts that I will show you, this will have you showing up consistently. This will have you building relationship. And rather than it just being a quote post, a simple quote post, for instance, I found a great post the other day from Oprah Winfrey, and Oprah was saying, I've got to find my notes here in front of me. She says, you can have it all, you just can't have it all at once. Now, instead of us just putting that quote up there with a picture of Oprah, what we want to do is we want to add some depth to the quote post, and we can do that through the description. Okay, so if that were the post that I were putting up, I might have a photograph of Oprah, I would have the quote in there, and in the description I might write something like this. Our society has led us to believe that we can have it all. And sadly, I get to see firsthand the cost of this mentality. I see the broken mums who are trying to be the perfect wife, mother, friend, and business owner. I see the kids who are trying to excel at sports, school, and socially. Now, invariably, when we try to have it all, something has to give, and often it's our health. And ironically, our health is the one thing that we can't do without. Sacrifice is a part of life. Just don't sacrifice your health on your way to trying to have it all. So I could add a bit of depth to that post there, share my thoughts in around health. I get to share a bit of, this is my brand I'm sharing here. This is my beliefs in around health. Or maybe another quote that I could have there would be something like, it's easier to keep up than it is to catch up. And the description there, I could write something like this. One of the most challenging and frustrating parts of my job is seeing patients continually relapse with their health challenges because they stop doing what helped them get well in the first place. Going from health crisis to health crisis doesn't save you time, money, or energy. In fact, it does just the opposite. Maintaining good health is a daily habit, not a sometimes one. And again, so if I'm able to add a little bit more depth, if I'm able to show what my values are as a chiropractic practice in the description, this will take your post levels to the next level. It will have people wanting to engage and share their thoughts. And again, the end sentence in there, I could put something like, what are your thoughts? Tell me, where are you trying to have it all? Or where has trying to have it all cost you and your health? Or what are your experiences in around trying to keep up rather than catch up? When we can foster engagement, when we can add to a quote post and add a bit of meaning in the description, this will make your content much more consumable. Now, where do you go to find these quotes? Just simply go to Google and search for quotes. Maybe you want to search for health quotes and you want to choose 13. So this is a 90-day plan we're going to do, which is pretty much 13 weeks. So you want to choose those 13 quotes, cut and paste them. Be sure to acknowledge if they come from somebody like Oprah Winfrey, then be sure to acknowledge that's where they came from. Now, what do you do with these quotes? Then I'm going to suggest that you head on over to Canva and set up a free account at Canva there too. Choose in there, there's lots of different templates in there, but there is a template for an Instagram or Facebook quote. Add in the text from the quote, and then maybe change the colors to your brand colors. That's it, okay? 13 of those. Now, this should take you no longer than 60 minutes, 75 minutes at maximum, and I'm really being very generous with regards to you finding all of those quotes, uploading them in there, and writing just a few sentences like I did to add some more depth to that quote. Now, that now has you with all 13 quotes all done, okay? That's the next 90 days of your Mondays. Now we're going to move on to our Wednesday. Our Wednesday content is going to be sharing a helpful tip. The goal of this content is really to help to move your audience one step closer to a health outcome that they're looking for, okay? Now here's, with regards to what sort of content this should be, Interestingly, 9 out of 10 people, when they were surveyed on social media, first of all, they said they want more information and they want more content from brands and businesses. That's us. And they said that the content they wanted most of all was how-to videos. Interesting, okay? They want tips. So first of all, your community wants to hear from you and they want videos and they want how-to videos. Now, I'm going to give you some suggestions, but this could easily also be done as photographs. This could be done as an Instagram carousel. There are many different ways that you could go about this, but I actually think videos for how-to posts, once you get the hang of putting together a video, will actually save you a lot of time. And it's certainly what the social media platforms are after, and it's what you and my community are after as well. So again, 9 out of 10 consumers said they want to hear from brands, and the things that they want are how-to videos. And so I start to think about, with regards to coming up to this type of content, it could be stuff like, how to improve posture, how to help migraines, how to help raise a healthy drug-free family. Think about the type of person that you love looking after. Think about what problems they have, and in particular, what problems do they have that you have a solution for, and then create short videos that help them to start to solve that problem. Now, some of them, obviously, what they need is a damn good adjustment, or a program of adjustments more likely. And we can't necessarily do that over a video, although we could show the families just how safe and gentle the work is that you do with kids. We could start to let them know that, oh man, because here's the interesting thing as a side note, particularly for those of you out there that have a pediatric focus in your practice, we're seeing more and more of these adjustment style videos across YouTube and across the socials. They tend to be the ones that people love watching, are those with really heavy manual adjustments. If you're then raising your hand and saying that we have a pediatric practice and we look after lots of kids, whilst there's a number of people in our community that like watching those heavy manual adjustments and Y straps, people having their heads pulled and stuff like that, it makes me shudder a little bit, to be honest. The thought of them having their kids looked after like this is probably terrifying for most parents. And so you would need to be letting them know and showing videos and photographs of the work that you do with kids. Most chiropractors who I know who look after kids don't adjust their kids in that manner. So, but again, getting back to it again, what you would want to be doing is creating content that solves a problem, or at least goes a little way towards solving the problems. Now, one of the other ways, many of you will know a bunch of ideas that you could come up with immediately with this too, but sometimes what I like to do is I like to imagine myself sitting down with a patient. Maybe it's a mum who's got migraine headaches, or maybe it's a couple of parents who've brought their child in who's colicky. And then I like to think about all the things they need to know in order for them to go from where they are right now to them being healthy again. So that migraine headache person, along with their adjustments and the posture correction, I might want to talk with them about sleeping pillows, sleeping postures, work posture. I might talk to them about posture correction exercises, but I might also give them some really basic kind of dietary and stress advice too, or at least point them in the direction of somebody that can help them with regards to that. If it's a parent with a colicky child, then again, we'd want to talk to them about some of the home care advice they could be doing. Are there foods that could be impacting the colicky bub? How do they need to start to think about the child's health differently so that we can help them get the best results? All of these little bits of information that I would tell that patient if they were sitting in front of me, this makes great content for your how-to videos, okay? So Wednesday, we're going to share how-to content. These are very short videos. They're less than 3 minutes most of the times, that you're just giving a brief and short but somewhat engaging tip for them that's going to help them move towards the direction they want to move towards, okay? These videos can and should be shot just on your iPhone. You don't need anything fancy. Make sure that you're in a quiet and well-lit room. Keep the camera close enough to you so that the microphone can pick up good audio. And as far as the editing of these videos goes, then keep them really simple. You don't need to have any fancy editing. You probably need to trim the beginning and the end and maybe cut out some of the mistakes through there. My favorite editing app at the moment is an app called InShot. InShot. There is a free version of it. I think the paid version is less than $10, and it gives you access to a few more filters and bits and pieces like that. But to be honest, the free version will work for you. The free version might actually have a little watermark that comes out down the bottom, but it's it's not all that obvious. So that's a free version that you could use. Now, our Friday tip, what we're going to do is we're going to share some behind the scenes content. Now, the goal of this content here is really to build community, it's to be social, and it's to give your audience an opportunity to see behind the scenes. Now, again, what this type of content is all about is about likability. We like doing business with people that we like, and we also like doing business with people who are like us. When I look at the businesses that I choose to go to regularly, it's not just the quality of whether it's the food that I get there to, but it's part of the service and the people who I really like. I went and had some photographs printed out recently for Father's Day for my dad, and it was a small little local shop in Ocean Grove, not far from where I am there. And the quality of the service inside there was just damn wonderful. The guy went out of his way to be really friendly and connect with me. And since then, I've told a bunch of people about it. He just was lovely. And that's the reason it was so noticeable is that doesn't happen very often. I find very often that many of the stores that I go into, people are not interested in acknowledge or engaging with me in any way. And they certainly don't go out of their way to offer really great customer service. Through these behind the scenes videos, we get to show who we are. We get to be likable. We get to let people know exactly who we are. Now, what sort of content is this? Well, I'm going to share a bunch of different ideas. And also, for those of you that are in a practice of multiple practitioners and or multiple staff, please don't leave your CAs out of this, okay? Our community likes engaging with the content about our CAs as much as they do engaging with content about the doctors. So even better, if you have multiple staff, these behind the scenes information should be, shared about them also. So it's, what did you do on the weekend? Share a little story on the weekend. Father's Day it was here in Australia. We went to a really great little cafe farm place called Basil's Farm. You could share some photographs there. I'll talk about what sort of photos to share in a moment there too. Behind the scenes is, why did you become a chiropractor? Why did you become a CA? And not only why did you become a chiropractor, but why did you choose that spot? Why are you working in your town? Maybe you could share 3 things that nobody knows about you, or maybe 3 words that describe you. What are your favorite foods? What is your favorite holiday place? What's your favorite television shows? Again, if you think about this, because we want 13 of these, okay, we had 13 quotes. We came up with 13 how-to videos or tips videos there as well. In this, we want 13 pieces of behind the scenes. So, at our practice at the moment, we've got 3 chiropractors and we've got 3 CAs. So it's 6 staff people in total. If we If we each shared a video once of what we did on the weekend, and then, we shared why we chose to be a chiropractor and a CA, then that would be 12 videos there. Then we could also share things, behind the scenes of things happening at the practice. What goes on in that staff meeting room? What do the doctors do in between patients? Could you take a photograph of one of the chiropractors just ruling up some x-rays, or maybe the CA's unpacking the stock? Behind the scenes information and posts, these are ones that we find, particularly for our practice, get a whole bunch of engagement. Now, these are ones that could work well as a video, or they could work well as a photo. I think they're just a simple photo, and a photograph just taken with your iPhone. And then in the description, just tell the story. What did you do on the weekend? What did you love about it? And maybe ask a question. What did you get up to on Father's Day? Or, tell me 3 things about you. What's your favorite food? Behind the scenes content is really, this is social media. It's one of the things that we absolutely forget when it comes to social media. We get way too serious. We spend all our time talking about chiropractic and solving problems, which is great, but we forget that it's social media. So that's our Friday post. Let's take a step back and review this, okay? Our 90-day social media plan is going to start with us posting 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday is going to be a quote post, but we're not going to just put the quote post there. We're going to add some depth to it by expanding on it in the description. The Wednesday is going to be a how-to tip, okay? Remember, this is what our community wants. They want to hear from your business, your brand, and they want how-to tips. The best way to come up with those how-to tips. Another way could be just frequently asked questions. You could survey your patients over the next, couple of weeks and ask them, what are they struggling with? What would they, where are they having difficulties with regards to their health? And you could create content in around that. But my favorite way of coming up with content for that is just imagine that I'm sitting knee to knee with a patient of mine who had a problem, and how would I help them solve that problem? Fridays, we're going to share behind the scenes and make sure you're going to do that for not just you, but you're going to do that for your staff as well, including if you have naturopaths and myos and whoever else that you have there, share that for all of those. That's your 90-day plan. A lot of that can be done well and truly in advance. In the same way that you sat down and planned out all of your quote posts as well, you could sit down and plan out all of those behind the scenes. Send an email to all the people that need to be a part of it, asking them the questions, letting them know what you need. If you need photographs from them, then let them know that also. One of the reasons why social media can be difficult is that we don't do a good enough job of delegating, okay? And then a Wednesday post, you're going to make some short little helpful videos just on your iPhone. Folks, that's your 90-day plan. Now, when you get through that consistently over the next 90 days, you're probably going to find it wasn't as difficult as what you thought it was going to be if you plan it out, okay? Trying to do this one day at a time. Oh, Monday I've got to do that. Wednesday I've got to do this. Friday I've got to do that. Planning it out in advance is the way that you'll make this a whole bunch more effortless. When you've been successful at that for the 90 days, only then do you move on to level 2 post of posting 5 times a week. Folks, that's it for this episode. Get head down and backside up and get that 90 days of content out. This will have you finishing 2022 on a high, building some great trust, having more people know you, like you, and trust you. Until next time, thanks for all that you do. Keep saving lives. See you back here real soon. Bye. If you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, you have to come and check out my Community Influencer Program. It's my monthly coaching program where we take all this material and I'll work with you to help you apply it, implement it, and systemize it. The Community Influencer Group Coaching Program is designed to help you increase your practice income, impact, and enjoyment. Join me over at anguspike.com/join. That's anguspike.com/join. I'd love to see you there.